Hello, beautiful people and fellow winers, and welcome to another episode. That's bouncy. Sorry. Welcome to another episode of A Little Something, the number two, because there's two of us. Wine about with your hostesses, with the toastesses, Miss Siobhan Camille.
And Trey Michelle.
Where sips get real and we wine while we wine. It is Second Wednesday, so y'all know it's whining with the guys. We brought the guys to the table, to the couch with us, if you will. We have Mr. Trey Proper and Mr. Cortland Polk with us. They are not new, but we're gonna still have them introduce themselves in a second.
That's right. Not new, but true friends of the podcast.
So grab a glass of your favorite red, white, rosé, Pinot de Agua, whatever tickles your fancy, and join us on the couch.
Hey y'all. I hope y'all having a productive week. Mine is something, but this too shall pass. So it is what it is. So before we get into, y'all know the segment of the show where we introduce our wines, our little popping grapes experience. We're going to let our co-hostesses yes. We're gonna let our guests introduce themselves. Anybody can go first.
All right. Hi, everybody. It's your boy Trey Proper from Blurs and Whiskey, Snack and Flicking Kinkazoid, 3-show phenom. I think this is my third time being on you guys' show. But yeah, here, melodious voice, giving melodious sounds. Say again.
Is it just 3?
Yeah, it was
it's
the first wine out some other point and today.
Yeah, just 3 episodes. But today I am drinking a 19 Crimes Cali Red. That's what I'm sipping on today.
Oh.
I like that it has Newport.
Hey, it's actually my girl's favorite wine. So
okay.
I like it with steak.
Okay.
I like it with red meat. That's that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I would pair it with, but I made chicken tonight. So I'm kind of doing the taboo, but it is what it is. What's up?
All right.
What's going on? This Cortland Polk, Instagram, hit me up, See the Mouse, artist extraordinaire, logo designer. I do anything comes to art, graphic design, all that good stuff. It's my third time as well on the show. Got to support my family. Love you guys to death. But I'm also looking forward to the discussion, everything we do. I am actually going to stick with Stella Artois. This is my wine. It's the champagne of beer. If y'all didn't know that.
Champagne of beer.
If y'all didn't know.
Miller High Life? Like,
He also designed our logo, y'all.
Yes, y'all.
We
If you're wondering who the wonderful artist is behind our little logo that we love and adore so much.
Yeah.
It is this young gentleman right here. FYI, we all outside of Siobhan went to school together, which is a whole nother thing. Like, I was just thinking about that as we were sitting here. I was like,
a technic Siobhan was there. She's like the anonymous person that just showed up every once in a while.
I was in New York.
Tay's birthday, Ma's birthday. She just pop up like that random guest star that comes in every episode in Friends.
Not friends, though. Not friends. Come on.
you was Phoebe's twin?
You were Phoebe's twin.
God damn.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go living single too. You know what I mean? You had the guest appearance.
But I would do living single if you're gonna give me something.
We the originals. We're gonna stick to the originals.
Yeah.
So if y'all haven't noticed by now, Siobhan and I, for our proper grace experience, unintended, got this one. There's a story behind it, but we're not going to get in that today. So we both have longevity. We have the Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a 2018 California wine. Black History Month. This brand is made by a Black person. Photo culture. So,
They hit the Black Panther.
Siobhan, you can read the back. Yeah.
There's really nothing on the back that's like, it's more about the brand than the wine. So,
A true Michelle wine in essence.
I do appreciate that this cork is twist off. I'm gonna say that now. I want to
That
give
right there got me
longevity.
right there. It's like twist on.
I want to give longevity and thank you for that because I was like, God, it's a cork. I gotta get. Oh, I do. It literally says twist to remove, and I certainly thank y'all for.
And I appreciate it too because they like calling me She-Hulk. So
Man,
that's not funny. You're not supposed to let that hurt.
She breaks corks in Ciroc bottles. So
she likes her cork and Ciroc.
y'all were. That's an after. That's an after. I had. I was a witness. Twice, y'all. Twice, not once, but twice. Anyway, so welcome, gentlemen. We're gonna jump on in. So this, I didn't say. I usually say at the beginning what the episode's about. Sorry, y'all. So today we talking with men about regrets. What men regrets? The shoulda, woulda, couldas of their lives, man. We brought. Yeah, we don't really. I guess we didn't tell y'all this ahead of time. So fellas, that's what this is about. We want to hear
regrets.
I think but here's the thing about it. I think here's how this came about. We always hear about women talking about what they regret or what they should have done or done all this stuff differently. And maybe it's just because we women and so we hear us. But for the ladies out there, like you never really hear from men talk about, you know what, I would have done this differently. I should have done this differently. Something reflexive. I'm not saying that men don't have these conversations. I'm saying that we are not.
We don't.
Oh, I was waiting till you was done. I was gonna go in, but I was waiting.
I'm saying we are not privy.
We're not privy to it yet. So we decided to talk about it. I think we see it on TV, like with like the sitcoms and stuff. The guy that regrets losing the girl, afterwards. And he got to try to do everything to get her back. But we want to talk about it just from a real standpoint, like just to have a conversation. Like,
are there shoulda, woulda, coulda? What are the shoulda, woulda, coulda relationships? Because we like to talk about relationships when we get the guys on. Okay. That come to mind. You don't gotta drop no names. We're not asking for no shout outs.
Man, no.
But like, what are the shoulda? If somebody were to come up to you and be like, who do you regret losing and why? Like, what relationship do you like? Damn, I wish I kind of had done things a little different. Even if you think it still would have ended, just maybe not the way it ended. What would that situation? What was that situation, and why do you feel that way?
Okay. Well, I introduced myself first, so it's now it's your turn, Bob. Go ahead.
He said, "Pass the bus,
sir.
Pass the bus."
Oh, there's a bus. Go ahead.
No, I think it was a situation we all know very well. When I was in PG, I was dating a young woman, and I let too many influence on the outside come in. And that was one of the things I should have just kept private, having a more intimate connection with her and not letting everybody else know what's going on with us personally. Because once you let too many people into the pot, you get too many stories, you get too many people prying into what's going on. They start, inferring on what's happening. Like, oh, did you know such and such was hanging out with such and such on Friday night at 6:00? You're like, why are you even telling me this? What are you, my stool pigeon? Like you my snitch on the low? Like you my 5-0? Like who are you? What's going on? But that I will honestly say that's one of my biggest regrets in that relationship is not having it be just strictly us, and then letting us be us. And then when people ask, "Are y'all dating?" Be like, "We'll see." Play it coy, play it under the river until it's really known. Then when it's known, and we're strong enough to handle that public appearance and that influence of others, that's when you let people know, like, yeah, I posted on Facebook, like, yeah, this is my girl. That's it. Oh, I'm sorry. Back in those days, it was MySpace. My bad.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I had a few that not in the sense that I regret, like, oh, if I had another chance. Give a fuck less.
That's a past.
But yeah, like now in the moments when it happened, I've had past situations where I was really into somebody, and much like Cortland said, I let too many people get their hands on the situation. But the one that sticks out to me the biggest in my mind is, and again, not because I want another chance, Lord, please, but my son's mother and me had a very up and down relationship. And I think things really got bad when she did get pregnant. And after the pregnancy, I didn't understand or comprehend what postpartum depression was. And I was not exactly the most helpful person. I'll own up to my side of that relationship and its ultimate demise, because I didn't communicate. I was not very understanding or empathetic to what she was going through. And that probably put her on the path that she eventually took. So that's something I do regret doing in the past.
Okay. I mean, and sometimes that's, how it happens. Sometimes I feel like regrets sometimes, well, they cause growth.
Mhm.
They cause for you to take a step back out of yourself, and to move forward in another way. So from those relationships, outside of not letting outside influences, not letting outside influence dictate the direction of your relationship, and or even medical, because that's a medical thing.
Yeah.
Have bad influence, or bad turnout or effect on your relationship. When you recognize that, were there any like emotional ties where you kind of like really felt down on yourself, or was it like, oh, okay, move on?
Yeah, but so I can't speak for all men, but I'm kind of speaking for all. I think I can speak for all men when I say this. It's in that moment. It's never long. It doesn't last. It lasts for a while in some cases, yes, but realistically, we have our I lost my girl. I'm gonna get her back. I want another chance. Ooh, who's that? Hey, how you doing? And it's literally on to the next, and that comes from a less mature mindset. At this point now, going through any type of breakup would probably hit more because I'm more mature. I'm on a path to finding, well, I believe I found her, but something real that's going to have longevity, and not just the usual, we're going through the paces. This is just a one night stand, or this is just a, meet and greet type situation. Like, no, this is, we have an objective. We have a goal. We know we're in our 30s. We almost 40, as a matter of fact. Hate to say it, grades show it, but what we doing? So it would hurt a lot more if it went those in the bad way, in my opinion.
Well, to piggyback off what Trey's saying is, it's exactly like you said. When you're in the moment, the regret you're feeling is, okay, damn, what could I have done better? What is the self-assessment of what could I have done to improve this relationship? Or you're learning. You're just, like you said, progressing and learning and doing more for yourself. And then, as you said, what? If I change this, maybe I can make this work. But then at the same time, you go to the shopping mall, like you said, you're like, hey. So,
Like
I said, it's like, well, it didn't work with her. I might as well try this new thing, this new philosophy with someone new. It's clean slate. But I mean, not to say but I mean, to build on that, it's developing ourselves as we get older. You learn from your experiences, and it's always the experiences that teach us the best. So you get into that, you learn from it. As we use the term regret, it's more like, I learned from it. Regret it? But yeah, we moving forward.
I think that's another thing. Siobhan, I don't mean to cut you in, but you hear people live life with no regrets, or I don't regret anything. Do you really believe that that's like a true way of living life and growing? Because I hear some people, not just men and women, say, oh yeah, I live my life with no regrets. I don't regret nothing,
As she starts texting.
Exactly.
I'm not texting.
She was passing it over to you.
She's looking. She's like, and pass out of bounds.
And you know what I'm doing? For those who don't know who I am, this is who I am. The definition of regrets.
Here we go. Come on, dictionary queen.
That's what I came to do.
Okay? Sister Webster.
This is who I am. The verb to feel sad, repentant, or disappointed over something that has happened or been done, especially a loss or missed opportunity. That's the verb. That's the action of to be feeling regret. The noun, a feeling of sadness, repentance, or disappointment over something that has happened or been done. So to the verb point, something that has happened or been done, especially a loss or missed opportunity. I think the word regret, and the reason I go to the dictionary every time we have one of these deep, how do you feel? What does it mean? Is because I don't think we as a culture, society, general people, I want to make sure we're looking at the right word and the actual thing, especially since people keep trying to rewrite definitions of words these days. That we're all looking at the same definition and we're all coming and talking from the same thing, especially since certain words have like 15 definitions. And I had a whole conversation with my friend about, I think Cortland may have met him, I don't remember what y'all met him, with Cody about being a trophy or a prize. And we had a whole conversation. I said, well, what definition are you using? Because trophy and prize can have a bunch of different things. So to that, before that is why I like to bring up the definition. So we're talking to feel sad, repentant, or disappointment over something that has happened or been done, especially a loss or missed opportunity. So I don't even think like regret, when people talk about it, it's so dramatized nowadays. That, oh my God, I regret. Like you got to be sitting around in like your pajamas crying, eating bonbons for you to like regret.
Where do you even get bonbons these days? What?
I don't know. I trained something.
I don't think I've ever ate a bonbon.
My fat ass ain't never had one in my life.
I'm just saying.
I've never had a bonbon, but I feel like that's what they say again in these movies, and I think that's the other part of it. When regret itself on a simple is just acknowledging or feeling repentant about a missed opportunity. You don't have to. You can regret a job you didn't get. It doesn't mean you didn't go get another job, that you still have bills, right?
Right. No, you went into depression. I think that's what happens.
Well, see, no, I agree with y'all saying, but when you were talking about the relationship part of it, that's the thing that like really gets on it. Because yes, I have some regret about my finances. I wish I had saved more. I wish I had put some more in the savings account and prepared for a situation. Yeah, I wish I had gotten a better opportunity to play sports or do what I really wanted to pursue in my life or dedicated my time to, sure. But when you say when someone else is involved and that didn't work, it's like.
But what you said, Cortland, is a regret though. By definition.
It is. By definition, you are. I agree with you.
By definition, to be like, look, I feel sad or repentant. I won't even say sad. I feel repentant that I did not, that I let other people get into my ear, her ear, our ear. From my, from your perspective, because you can't really speak for her. From my side, I feel bad that I let other people get in our ear, and that was a missed opportunity for that relationship to grow. Now, have you had relationships after? Of course, but there's still regret for that one, even if for nothing else than how it went, because you let other people come in.
Yeah, I will agree with that. I will agree with that, and I will say that maybe as I'm getting older, the word regret turns into
lamentation.
Yes, perfect word. It's just you learning, you're processing, and then you get better from it. Because if I sit and dwell on it, then I'm gonna just be stuck in that bubble for a long time. And I may be afraid to get back out on that horse. I may be afraid to, try new things or experience new people, because I was like, oh, it didn't work with her. So if I let people in, then it's not gonna work. And then now I'm gonna shut people out, and I'm gonna become that isolated person who stays in their house and become an introvert because people are all in my business.
But I think it's important to understand that you can't, those are three different things. You can regret without dwelling. You can regret without getting depressed. Yeah, that's dwelling and regretting are two different things.
They are two different things. They are two different things. However, most people don't understand that.
Right.
That is true.
And most people don't know how to differentiate between the two.
Yeah. So
but
part
this
of
is why
thing is
this is why we go to the dictionary.
This is why we go to.
It keeps it clear, y'all.
Because a lot of people will go off of media, and like you said, movies, and of course, it's most of the time it's white movies. Somebody sitting with a Snuggie on, eating ice cream because they're crying or drinking themselves,
or depressed.
Or
trying to jump off a bridge, or
and that's become what regret is associated with. But that's not really regret.
Yeah,
regret led to that, but that is not regret. That is dwelling. That is depression. That is anxiety. That is a whole other stuff. Regret may have led you there, but what you're experiencing now, eating ice cream in your Snuggie with the lights off, crying, It's not regret.
My boys
So is it
show up
safe
and
to
stomp
say?
me into civil, like, dude, if you don't get the fuck up,
I got it.
you
Trey,
better
you know
do
that's
what
good
What
the
was
hell
that
you
for
movie?
do.
Two can play that game.
Yes.
Mhm.
At the end, Tim was like, "Hey, no, don't go into the light."
Don't go into the light, Caroline.
Okay, but to speaking to regrets, are there any? Do you think that regret can be something that you're grateful for?
Yes.
I don't think so. If we're going by that definition, I wouldn't be grateful for the regret. I would be grateful for the growth. You know, I wouldn't be the regret is a stage. If you have this, in my opinion, it's plateaus, it's different steps that you go through. And regret is where you're there, you're in that regretful, depressed, angry, all that stuff. You got to step out of that. And that stepping out is what I'm grateful for.
But see, but at the same time, like you said, with the plateau, without that feeling of regret, you can't plateau to the next level. You can't move on to the next feeling without that initial insertion of regret. Without that initial feeling, you can't really say, "Oh, I learned from something." No, you're just going to carry on the same habits if you don't get that concept.
I mean, it's like working out. Like, are you grateful? Some people, and I'll say this, I'm stopping myself before I even get started. Some people are grateful for the pain they go through in workouts, but most people, dare I say, are grateful for the results at the end of their workout.
Yeah.
They're grateful for that high that they get. I'm one of those people. Like, I hated going through it. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. Now I'm here. I hate that portion, but I'm here. I made it to this level.
That's it.
Right.
I agree.
But I only asked that because, like you said, you grow and you learn from regret, and people do grow into gratefulness. But I also understand what Cortland is saying. Without that initial regret, like I regret some of my relationships, and I don't understand why I went there and I was dumb as hell. But I'm still grateful for them. And I'm not grateful for them because of my growth. I'm grateful for them simply because of that horrible feeling. Because now I know what that feels like, that pain feels like. And I know I don't want to go back there. Or if I feel myself going back towards there, I know, okay, it's time for me. It's like a red flag, a warning signal that I develop. Versus and that can still be seen as a sign of growth, but it's not the growing, I came out of it. That's not what I'm looking at. I'm literally looking at that bad experience. And I'm grateful for the bad experience, not the growth, the bad experience. Because I'll be honest, sometimes what the growing is the painful part, which is why people stay in the stage of regret, because we just talked about this a couple of weeks ago, trusting after trauma. For some people, it's easy to stay in that traumatic state than it is to grow from that to trust again. Because of that level of complacency, that level, okay, now I'm comfortable in this miserable place. Misery loves company. So that's why I was asking that. Like, I wonder, and it's very interesting to see two people see it differently. And I think that's a good thing, honestly, which is why we asked you two to be on the show. It's a good thing because, again, we are all different people. We all translate, interpret, and learn differently. So I think that's kind of cool. Siobhan, what else you got for us?
I just want to say, to the points of everything that's been said, I guess, so then my question to you all is, do you believe in, I know how I feel, but before I say how I feel, let me ask y'all, do y'all believe in the statement, then life with, the people to what she said earlier, I have no regrets, life without regrets, living regrets. Do you think that is possible? And on the other side of that, do you think a life without regret, what do you think the implications are for people who do that? Men and women, I've heard say, I don't regret nothing. I don't have any regrets. What do you think? Do you think that's true or possible? And what do you think the implications of that are?
I think that it's possible for you to live that way. I just don't think it's healthy, because then you're never growing. You're stuck at that step. So you haven't accepted or imbibed or worked on whatever trauma, whatever pain, whatever hurt you had. and you're just ignoring it. You're just brushing up. Okay, that doesn't bother me. I ain't worried about that. 15 years, you can have a damn ulcer, or you can be sitting in somebody's closet with a bottle of Jack Daniels crying your eyes out. I can say that from experience because I used to be that guy. I don't want to work on it. I don't want to work on it. Now I had to sit down in that closet and have somebody smack me in my face, like, do you know who the fuck you are? Wake the fuck up, get out of this funky and start doing something differently. So yes, it's possible in my opinion, but the consequences are as such.
I'm just gonna piggyback off what he said because
Cortland said, "High five you."
he hit the nail right on the
I
head.
don't know where he at, but I'm just gonna have
Yeah, it's like,
that was pretty good. All right.
but no, it's as a part that goes with that. When he's saying that it's not being healthy, it's either you shut it off or you become numb to the fact, and everything comes to light eventually. You saying, I don't regret nothing, I don't regret nothing, I don't regret nothing. All it takes is that one heartbreak. And then like Trey said, you in a rut, the covers, you got your jack, you got your wine, nobody can find you, you turn your phone off like ever, I'm in, people like, what the hell? Where you at? You know, so it's trying to learn to accept that regret and not even just grow from it, but understand more who you are. Is it my fault or was it that person's fault? Like, not really placing blame, but then you say, what can I do to be better? But it is possible, to answer your question.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that because, so my thought was, I think it's possible, but I think you have to be a psychopath for that to be possible. And here's why I say that. Because you want to tell me you can go through life not feeling sad, not feeling repentant, and not feeling disappointment for anything.
This is gonna sound very sexist, but that's the daily life of a man. You can't show anything. You can't.
But see, that
don't mean you don't feel it.
But that doesn't mean you don't feel it.
But you can't, like,
We're not going to admit it to you.
But at the same point,
you start growing.
But you don't have to admit. But you don't have to admit to us that you feel that regret. But my thing is, it's not about. But my question wasn't, do you think that it can't? My question was, you think that you can go through life and truly not regret, truly not feel sad, not feel disappointed, not feel anything over a missed opportunity or losing something? And I think we would say, I would say no. I don't believe it unless there's like a psychological
and be mad, sad, and disappointed. And regret losing my lipstick, especially when I know I just paid $15 for this little tail tube. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so unless you can't, I don't feel, but that's why I would say no, unless there's truly a neurological, you are a sociopath or a psychopath. Because otherwise I agree with Trey. I think that mess is not healthy for you
100%.
to try to feel that way. You're not going to grow. But the part of that that's also important for that growth is, which you both have taken, which men and women more often need to do, and we also talked about this in Trust and After Trauma, is taking accountability. You don't have to take accountability for the other side, but you definitely need to take accountability for your part. Because the world here, men and women are in these relationships together, which means men and women are responsible for how that relationship goes. Men and women have choices to make in that relationship, good, bad, or otherwise, and those choices and decisions will impact it. And so you have to say, you know what, maybe I should have taken the dishes out. You know what, maybe I shouldn't have let everybody in my ear. You know what, I knew my sister didn't like you. Maybe I shouldn't have gone to her for advice whenever we got in an argument. You know what, my homeboy told me you was a skanko when we first met you, so I probably shouldn't have gone to him when, you know what I'm saying? Like,
guilty. I ain't gonna say no names. Depends on how petty I'm gonna be.
But to that, I think it's about taking that responsibility.
Yeah,
100%.
Right. I think we all agree to that as we are 35 plus mature.
35.
I said 35 plus. I said 35 plus is what you want to do.
I got a birthday on the 16th, so February. So
what we doing? What we doing?
Oh, I'm being treated to go. I'm being taken to New York, so yeah, I won't be.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Ew. So as we start to, wrap this up a little bit, knowing what we know now, can you give 3 steps or 3 methods of ways to get past, grow past, or move forward after feeling regret?
After that loss or missed opportunity, when you're repentant and disappointed and
Why does she sound like
feeling
an infomercial?
sad,
Have you
How
ever?
do
Like
you-
she taking it to church right now. I don't know what's going on with you.
She sound like an infomercial.
I'm saying
Lost.
she just took us to church. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting we're talking about this because I will say one of the things I've learned as I've gotten older is to read more and self-develop more on the things that I love and identifying who I am. That will probably be step one, because identifying who I am allows me to be with someone else and have them try to understand who I am without mistreating or misdirecting them to what I do. Number 2 is being open about what you want in any situation. Because you do have the choices. You have the choices to say no. Do you want steak or chicken? You know, simple stuff, but it's just things that you got to know what you like and what you don't like, you know, and that goes back to part 1. And then part 3, I watch the Actors Roundtable and Hollywood Roundtable sometimes. And just recently, Tom Hanks had one of the greatest quotes I've ever heard. And he said early in his career, he wished he had learned further earlier, was that this too shall pass. And he's saying that normally when we use it in a bad way, like regret or something bad has happened. But you got to look at it from both sides of the coin. When something bad happens, you have to remember that this too shall pass. This feeling of dwelling or sadness or will pass. But then even in your high notes, you have to remember that this too shall pass. You got to work at it every day to understand what you want. And that's just, you know, understanding self, understanding your hobbies and what you're interested in, and the understanding that this feeling won't last forever. Unless you want it to.
Big facts. Big facts.
Okay.
All right.
Trey,
So,
you have anything to add?
Oh yeah. You always got some.
Come on.
I'm quite some
Always got
loquacious.
something to say.
Y'all should know this.
Lay it on it, homie.
So my granddad, rest in peace, he used to always tell me, and I've parlayed this message to my son, and basically he told me, Trey, you need to be 3 things in life. You need to be smart, careful, and wise. And with that, I've also been teaching my boy that when you go through even not just heartbreak, regret in any instance, review it and reflect on it. What happened? What was it? Much like Cortland said, see what was going on. Learn your different. If you can't learn the other part, learn your part. Figure it out implicitly. Next would be acceptance. Accept what happened. It happened. You can't change it. It ain't going nowhere. It's on the books. Take it for what it is. And lastly, do better. Learn from the lessons that you got and keep them in your mind so that you can not fall down the same rabbit hole in the future. And if you follow those 3 steps, in my opinion, you're good. You got to improve on the you from yesterday. Every day you wake up, you're a new person. It's a new day. All your mistakes from the past, they may follow you. But what you can do, if you can't change them, is you can improve. So be smart, careful, and wise.
Good job. Y'all, we got some smart friends. Okay.
Y'all knew this. Y'all knew this.
I mean, that also applies to trauma, because that was something that also came out of our, Sis Let's Wine, Trusting After Trauma for the ladies. It's the same thing. So basically, men and women, because if y'all was women, well, I don't know. No, I can't even say most of our listeners are women because we did the analytics and that's not true.
The men's laxus.
Okay? The men's is laxus.
They laxus.
We skewed toward the men folks. But basically, unintentionally, men and ladies, everything that Trey said can apply to both. And I think to that point, we are not as different as society likes to tell us that we are.
Mm-hmm.
Men regret this, women regret. We've all had traumas. We've all had to trust again. We've all had to move forward because in this thing called life, you gotta move forward. And as Cortland said, quoting Tom Hanks, which is very true, this too shall pass, whether it's a good time or a bad time. You can't be there forever. You can't bust a nut all day, people. You can't. I don't care what you
and that
you even want, but you really want to do that all day. It's like,
Listen, I mean, I'm gonna be
Doing
exhausted.
it on Sunday nights, Kinkazoid podcast on YouTube. Holla at your boy Trey Proper. But anyway.
Oh, please watch it, y'all. I watched
It's hilarious.
Hold up. But
one of those ladies is my spirit animal. I just can't remember who it is. I can't remember which one, but they
Candace, Chase.
Yup, it's that one. That one.
Yep.
Every time I'm like,
Make sure you follow her on TikTok. She's hilarious.
Ma'am. Every time.
yeah, I think all 6 of those points are absolutely correct. We as a people have to understand that we are going to feel all emotions. You know, we were not created emotionless, most of us, you know, and those who don't or have very little emotions, understand that's okay. You just different, but that doesn't apply to most people. Try not to become numb. Try to always self-evaluate, always seek that wise counsel.
Which means don't go to your friend who didn't like your man. Don't go to the dude who said your girl was a skank hoe when y'all met at the club. Why?
That's not wise. Wise counsel. Wisdom. Okay? Those are the people.
Well,
most of us, that's usually what you all don't like to go to is an elder, meaning someone older who has been here and experienced life a little longer. Those people we like to ignore. They are usually I can't say all the time, usually the ones, that will give you some sort of wise wisdom, you know, keyword, counsel there. But know that if you are in a place of disappointment, regret, oh man, I should have did this, I should have did that, even if it's in a simple conversation, because it's times when you've been in an argument with somebody, I'm gonna tell you right now, and after the argument over, it's still percolating in the back of your mind, and you go, you know what, I should have said that. Oh, I could have did this. You know what, that would have hit the nail right on the head. So yes, that in the definition of the word is a sign of regret. Oh, I wish I would have said that. Oh, I should. It's a disappointment because you feel some type of way that you didn't get them like you done. Vengeance, that's not a good thing. Wrath, it's not a good thing. So 7 deadly sins. Anyway, what I'm saying is,
I'm a little petty. I ain't gonna lie.
I was about to say, listen, my mind gonna wrap it like if I get another chance, I'm hoping that we come back to this because But I'll even say this, even for the wise counsel, go to an elder, because even if the elder is not that wise, and even if your elder is gonna tell you something crazy, sometimes you need to hear your crazy and someone older than you that make you go, oh my God. Because do you really want to be that person? And I say that because I have a great aunt that I love. But she a little ratchet. Like, sometimes you need to see you in a mirror of somebody else to really realize, you know what? Maybe sometimes for parents, sometimes it's your children where you like, why would you do that? And then when they say to you what you would say to you, you like, God, that's what that sounds like. Sometimes it's an elder that's like 10, 20 years older than you, and you like, yo, I don't want to sound that way when I'm your age. Is that what I sound like? I gotta change. So I can't even say, so like, get wise counsel, but sometimes you're gonna go to an elder, even if that elder is not necessarily wise counsel, because if you like, yo, I'm gonna punch him in the face, and if you got an elder that's like, bump that, run over his cat, and then shoot him in the throat, and then like, and you like, exactly.
That's oddly specific.
Exactly, but if you like,
did somebody tell you to do that? Because that was obvious. That sounds like something you experienced. I don't know if that's true.
No,
I got a cat, nigga, run, nigga, run.
I need you to just sit back and regret it. Like, stay in victim mode.
Like, stay in victim mode for like a day. Think about it. Like, revisit this.
Sometimes you need to hear that, and you go, well, wait, I was just saying, I was gonna punch him. I was going to jail for like overnight. I was gonna maybe get, community service in the morning. You got me catching a whole felony. I don't
Nigga,
want
we not trying to get caught. What are you talking about?
Look,
I mean,
We
nobody's
not
trying to
caught
get
over here.
we now
Like-
know what Siobhan watches when she goes to bed at night. She be watching them horror joints where they be beating people up overnight and then taking them and writing them down in a little book. Ooh, that was a good one. I'm gonna remember that.
We got gloves, homie. We got. Never mind. I'm shut up. Shut up.
You know
Shut up.
what? Oh, look, okay, so this side of the screen. We going, yeah.
And look, we're gonna take her little box, put that to the side.
Just
Hey,
But y'all
Hey.
get my point. Y'all get my point.
but no, we as crazy
I'm with
as
you.
or unorthodox as some people it may appear to be, that it makes sense in a way. It makes sense because sometimes you have people like, oh, you match my crazy. Sometimes listen, it's like reading out loud, like when
Yes.
you're writing something and you need to read it out loud to make sure it sounds right. So that's what she's saying. Like sometimes hearing it out loud from another source, it makes you go back and go, well, hold up. Maybe it wasn't that bad.
Well, we know that Siobhan listens to her inner voice a lot more than we think. That was the inner voice talking right there, saying we're gonna run over his cat.
She said, do this cat. She said, do this
Look
cat.
at
Cat ain't do nothing but you but meow.
Nothing to
But
you.
I gotta say this: when it comes to listening to elders, a lot of people have to be careful. A lot of younger people, and I hate saying it because it does make me sound old, but younger people, you have to be aware of where you're getting your information from, because it may sound like it's a good idea on social media to go through a lot of the different, I hate saying it, red pill podcasts and stuff like that. When you're going through something and you're angry, you're upset, you looking for somebody to be angry at and have your camaraderie with, being in those spaces, because those people they're trying to make money off of you. I watch it for entertainment purposes. I'm also mature enough to know that ain't really how most women think. But a lot of young men, I had to check my son on that. And you take, oh, buddy, hey, nope, sit down, let's have a conversation. No, fuck him. So be careful of what you're watching, what you're imbibing, what you're edifying your soul with, because it can lead you down the wrong path.
Be
So
careful of your group, of your search for the Me Too's. And I'm not even just saying it's that need for, I'm mad, I need somebody that's going to, and I said this for the women last week, somebody that's going, yes, girl, yes, hate him, yes. And while dudes may not do the yes, it's the same concept. It's the yeah, fuck them, F them, F them, F them. That's not healthy. Like on either side, that's going to cause you more problems than it's going to fix.
It's going to make you face more regret than to deal with the one and grow from the one that you initially.
Because the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, that's from a place of emotion. Because none of that is logical. None.
Like we said, that's that bottling in, that numbness. They're transparently trying to make you like them, to say, feel the same thing I feel so we can both do this together. And it's like,
and I can sell you this book. Go buy my book.
Well, the other thing is hurt people, but hurt people always join up with other people so they can hurt people.
Exactly.
So you got to be aware of your surroundings. My other granddad, also rest in peace, told me, show me your group of friends and I'll show you what type of man you are. So be aware of who you are in environment with. Be aware of who you surround yourself with, because you guys are going to share energy. And I'm not some holistic dude, but I do believe in that. Like we start sharing vernacular. That's words, just sharing that back and forth. You starting to become like-minded. So be aware and aware of that in itself.
And that energy is going to get you a lot of these man bashing women and a lot of these red pill dudes are getting what they're giving from the other. You want to know why every chick you meet is this type of woman? Because that's the energy you're putting out there. You want to know why every man you meet is this type of man? Because that's the energy you're putting out there. So you got to get over your trauma. You have to get over your regret. Yes, it hurts. And as we said earlier, but you cannot dwell in it.
Facts.
You cannot dwell.
100%.
So, ladies and gentlemen, to wrap this up, all we're saying is practice being triumphant. To be triumphant means you have to go through some things. This means to triumph. And in order to triumph up to something, that means there was a challenge in front of you. There was an obstacle. There was a task. There was a hurdle. There was something in front of you that you had to overcome, get through, break through, go around. You had to do work. Life is work, period. And without work, you're stagnant. With being stagnant comes death. In any way, shape, or form. So try not, yes, we all regret something, ultimately. We regret something. We're disappointed, we're sad. We regret something at some point in time. But just like as a child, you might be disappointed that your toy broke, but guess what? You got a new one the next year and it might even have been bigger or better. Or it could have been smaller, but you liked that one a little bit more and it made you appreciate that one a little bit more. And that's the growth part. So at the end of this, ladies and gentlemen, we're just saying be triumphant.
And self-aware.
That's part of being triumphant.
I would hope so, but
I hope so too, because I'm not about to get dragged down that rabbit hole you to that.
I ain't driving nowhere with her anyway because she trying to run over cats still.
I'm just saying, I don't want to be a witness to just run over someone's cat.
You keep it look over your shoulder for Peter. They're gonna be looking out for you now.
I'm just saying.
You already got the blonde streaks like Cruella DeVille. Like what's going on?
You know what I mean? 101 Dalmatians. You know what I'm saying?
I would never hurt a dog.
But see, but Trey say that about a cat.
You ain't saying about the cat. Yeah, what's up?
I'm just saying. Are you the type of person that put the gas on when they see a cat cross the street? Just
No.
Look, she ain't even believing when she said it.
I used to have cats.
No.
And I rescued
What happened
cats.
to them? What happened to the cats? She said used
I'm about
to.
to say
I don't
they
know,
what?
man. You say used to. What happened to them?
They died
How?
naturally.
All right.
I done seen Knives Out. We got this with cats now. We got to solve this.
We're gonna say cheers to that. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an awesome episode.
Yo, how many glasses have you broken doing that? I'm sorry to cut you off. How many glasses have you broken?
No glasses have been broken doing it.
Okay, all right. I'm
Look,
just
he
curious.
didn't jinx it. He didn't jinx it now. It's going to be the next one. It's going to be terrible. He didn't put the jinx on it.
No glasses have been broken to my cheers to that. We've even had some double clicks. But no glasses.
That's
so
terrible.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank our guests for joining us today. Before we get into our cheers to that wine review, gentlemen, would you like to tell everybody where they can follow you and reach you?
We will also put links in YouTube
down below.
Description down below.
All right, guess I'll go first again.
You're more popular than me.
It's your boy Trey Proper from Blurs and Whiskey, Snagging Flicking Kingazoid. You can find me Sundays at 12 on YouTube. You can find me Sundays at 9 on YouTube and back on YouTube again on Tuesday nights. Other than that, my social media is always Trey Proper, TreyPoper, and Google me. You'll find me.
Google you, baby.
That's how you know you're popping when you Google me.
I'm about to say,
followers, shouty.
If you Google me, you can find me at Cortland Polk, or you can follow me on Instagram at CDA Mouse. You can hit me up on Facebook by my natural name. You just Google me, you find me anyway. Shout works. I'm not as popular as Trey. I don't got podcasts. I stay to myself.
I don't think I'm Googleable, but okay.
Hey.
Look, let me say when you're running like all them businesses,
we used to be Googleable. You could Google me if you're gonna find some old dance stuff. I used to be able to Google you. This
old dance stuff.
Yeah, I could Google you.
Not that kind of dance. Not that kind of dance. Not that kind of dance.
Like, let me look at this. Look at these videos.
Go ahead, sister. You said what happened?
I said I could Google you and find modeling at one point.
Oh, yeah, I was there. It was a long time ago.
She said, long time ago.
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
Now she sound like Eartha Kitt or something like, that was so long ago.
Darling.
Darling.
So Siobhan, for our cheers to that wine review on this longevity Cabernet Sauvignon, what is your rating? And tell us about your experience.
Y'all know I don't like red. I dreaded this from the moment I opened it. Other than like the ease of open, I wasn't really. I had no good. I didn't have high hopes. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
It is a full body. It is a red. I don't think I've had too many Cabernet Sauvignons. It's definitely a dinner wine, like red meat, dinner wine, like something heavy.
It's a nice. It's a nice.
It's a very nice.
I got the hair this time.
Look, got that very nice.
Oh Lord. So but I will say this. I appreciate it for what it was, for what it is. It's definitely heavy. It's that, but it's not. I don't really like red meat. I don't really like red wine. Just wasn't
Just to
that.
keep it light. Okay?
Keep it light.
Keep it light.
Keep it light.
It's
Sorry.
That's red.
I would have to give this a 2.5.
Okay.
It's not really my thing, but if you are into, I would say this, if you are into reds, like full body reds or dinner reds, this is probably really, really good. The Cabernet Sauvignon, my mom likes Cab. But if you really are into dinner, if you're a dinner wine person and you are like host a lot or you just, that's your thing, men would probably like this because it is heavier on the palate. You taste it. It's not light in here and then it's gone. It's like it rests there. It's not overly acidic. Like I have water here, but I haven't really had to pull from it. So it's like I would love to give it a 3, but I can't because I don't really know what else to judge
We
on.
just got to get you the right steak, man. We just
So
gotta get you-
I'm gonna give it a
Get you
2.5.
that wagyu. Wagyu.
I will agree. This is it's a heavy wine. It's a full body wine. The alcohol level is like a 13.5, so it has nice buzz if you drink enough of it.
Really? What's the name of that one again?
Longevity.
Is the
It's
brand.
a Cabernet Sauvignon by Longevity out of Cabernet.
Yes. It's a 2018. Mother rock that. Mhm.
Now, like she said, it doesn't have that acid, that bite in the back. No, it's very, although it's heavy, it's gentle on the palate, if that makes sense. So you'll feel the weight of it, but you won't get that scratchiness at the end, which I can appreciate. Right? You don't have to do that, and I can appreciate that. And for that, yeah, I feel like a good steak would go with this, but also because of that, you may even be able to cook with this wine. Like if, some people make red sauces and things like that, I think this would actually be a nice wine. The fancy people, I'm going to get there one day. I don't know when.
You can put that in your pasta. That don't sound like it'll be a nice little rock with
like
the pasta.
that type of thing.
But you gotta herb it right. You would have
you
to
definitely have to herb it right because you don't want to get the taste. Like I will say, it's not, how some things you taste, you be like, oh, that's just nasty. It doesn't give you that.
It's not that.
So that's why I think Siobhan was saying, yeah, if you enjoy red, then this would be a nice one. It's also made by us.
So sidebar, if I threw that thing in a tomato sauce, what would you?
It would be good.
I want some. I feel like that would be good.
It would be real.
I'll let you know. I've been in the kitchen dabbling down.
Cortland in the kitchen.
Or even if you were going to do like a wine vinaigrettes.
Right.
With this
I think this is a really good wine.
This is a good cooking wine.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it seems. That's what it seems like from what y'all talking about.
It's a cooking dinner wine.
Well, you won't lose the taste of your food or anything.
Right.
But if you will still taste it. So it'll help to enhance the taste. So my rating just for that purpose alone is going to be a 4 because especially this year, I am looking more for those red. I love whites. Everybody knows I love whites. I enjoy red. So I'm looking to increase my palate and my knowledge and how I consume reds. So for that in itself, because I've literally had some reds where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not drinking that. This, I'll be like, it won't be the first choice, but I'm not going to leave it out, if that makes sense. So this would be a go-to red for me. Like a go-to red dinner wine, this would be a great choice.
Yeah. Right.
So because of that, I'll give it a 4. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to another wonderful conclusion of A Little Something, the number 2 Wine About, with your wonderful hostesses, Ty Michelle
and Siobhan Camille.
We would like to thank our guests, Trey and Cortland, for joining us on this wonderful episode. Great conversation, awesome topic, and we know you guys will be back for another one. It's going to be a little bit lighter. We're going to have a little bit more fun because clearly we be cutting up when we get together. Okay, be sure you guys join us each and every Wednesday for more laughs, more fun, and of course, more wine. Don't forget, every last Saturday of the month, we do our live wine tastings, where we answer full questions of randomness and have a whole lot of fun. You get to see us in our natural state of immaturity on a regular basis at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, as always,
There's nothing wrong with a little wine. Or a
or a lot. Toodles, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.